So, the other book we read this week was Wonder Woman 1 by Greg Rucka, and this one is by Liam Sharp. I don't know if you guys know the way they're going to break this series up, because the bigger books that DC had putting out are going to be twice monthly.
Mm.
And obviously, an artist can't draw two books in a month, so they split in the duties on art on these titles. And a lot of them are going like, you do the first arc, I'll do the second arc, and they're just having to plan ahead.
All
But
right. Okay.
Rucker's being quite clever, and he's doing two parallel stories that alternate every 2 weeks. So we get a present day story about Diana trying to find the truth, and we get a past story about her in the old Amazonian days. Probably going to be sort of revealing the secrets of whatever the truth actually is
Mm.
before she knows it, which just sounds brilliant. Like having those two plot lines that will hopefully eventually merge together really cleverly. So he's splitting up the art duties for that. This modern day story has been handled by Liam Sharp. Um, Alex, what did you think of this one?
I have no experience whatsoever with Wonder Woman before reading this Rebirth set. Um, Interesting. There's a lot to look forward to in it.
Hmm.
Most striking was probably the art style. It was really, really attractive to look at. Really, really nice looking book. Definitely stood out. It was one of the better ones this week. And yeah, there's a lot to be going on with the story. But again, like I say, it's learning about the character as well.
Hmm.
Whereas Flash gave you a lot of introduction as well, which ironically I've seen the TV show, so I didn't need it for that one.
Yeah.
What I could have done with here was a little bit more introduction into who Wonder Woman is.
Yeah, well, this is the whole thing. It's a real challenge because Rucker's done Wonder Woman before. He did a quite a big run before Infinite Crisis, which I think was like back in 2006, and it got caught short. He got like kind of bumped off a bit unceremoniously because he wanted to go in a direction that didn't fit editorial, and he never really got to finish what he was doing. But his Wonder Woman was quite different to the one that came up in New 52, where Brian Azzarello did an amazing run, but he changed the origin of the character. She used to be a person who was made out of clay by her mum because she wanted a kid. So you just make one out of clay, and
As you do.
but in Azzarello's run, she finds out she's actually the bastard daughter of Zeus, and every few years Zeus just takes mortal form, goes around knobbing people, and he's got a load of illegitimate offspring, and she's one of them, and she becomes like the god of, I think, god of war, and it changed things so much that Rucker's now come on board, and he's like, right, well, this is interesting. I've got all these different versions of the character, and we need to resolve it somehow. So this is why it's all about the conspiracy and of the mythology and getting to what the true version of Wonder Woman is. I mean, Scott, have you ever read Wonder Woman before? Do you know much about the
There's a
character?
few stories that I've read, but I mainly know her from Justice League titles and stuff like that. I've never gone out specifically to read Wonder Woman, if that makes sense. But here I have, because obviously you told me to pick it up. But,
Yeah.
no, I am a fan of Wonder Woman as a character. Like, I like her and Superman, that dynamic. I do like that. And obviously in the Justice League cartoon, Justice League Unlimited and stuff, she was awesome in that.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's just the major titles for Wonder Woman I haven't read, but I have heard good things about Azzarello's run, and they do make note of the origin story with that nice little "Am I this,
Yeah.
or even a child?"
Yeah.
And it's like that was a cool little thing to see at the start. But like Alex said, I would have liked more introduction into Wonder Woman for issue one of a relaunching of your comics.
I think the next issue might be good for you then, because it's the first of the prequel.
Yeah.
And you'll get down to the basics of her, I think. But really, all you need to know is she's a warrior princess, and she's more of a more of a warrior than a lot of than Batman and Superman. My favourite Wonder Woman moment was during Infinite Crisis. I don't know if you guys have read this, so spoilers for a 10-year-old story, but she lassos this guy who is he's called Maxwell Lord, and he's telepathically controlling Superman and making him kill Batman. So Superman is basically under the whims of some madman who is just going to use him as a weapon. And so she chucks the lasso on him, and she says, "How do I stop you?" And he goes, "Kill me." Like, that's basically the only way, because otherwise he's just going to carry on doing what he's doing. So she just fucking necks him. and Batman, who has basically just had his life saved by her, he does not appreciate killing, but she did saved his life. And Superman is also like, well, I'm glad that I'm no longer being controlled by a psycho, but you did just kill that guy. And it was on live TV, and the whole world sees this happen. And Wonder Woman's like, no bullshit about it. She's like, yeah, well, fuck it. He needed to die. Like, that's just how it is. And I just love that, warrior attitude of her. She's so no nonsense. She just does what needs to be done. She's a brilliant character. And Rucka is one of my favourite writers. And seeing him come back to DC 10 years later to hopefully, finish what he wanted to say about this character is really exciting. So I want you to continue with this story with me. And in a couple of weeks, we'll talk about the next issue.
Yeah,
sounds awesome.
I'm up for that.
Cool.
You said that was Maxwell Lord in your favourite bit, then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the ever-standing sort of antagonist of Supergirl. I know you've not watched any of that yet,
no,
but he's rocked up in Supergirl, and I think he's going to be like Lex Luthor was in Smallville.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
I don't know him from the books, but it's an interesting character in Supergirl. I like that.
Yeah, he's a pretty dodgy fella. You want to watch out for him. So that's it for comics. You want to talk about some TV stuff?